5 Arab foreign ministers from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and the UAE have united in their rejection of forced displacement of Palestinians. They've also voiced hope of working with Donald Trump on a two-state solution. But on Thursday, U.S. President Trump once again insisted that Egypt and Jordan will take in Palestinians from Gaza. Listen to this.
Egypt's president and the King of Jordan have both said that they won't take in displaced people from Gaza like you suggested. Is there anything you can do to make them do that? I mean, tariffs against those countries, for example?
They will do it. They will do it.
What makes you say that?
They're going to do it. Okay? We do a lot for them, and they're going to do it.
Let's discuss this. I'm joined by Mohamad Elmasry, professor of media studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. I don't know what to say. They're going to do it. But Donald Trump's not saying how, why, what. Well, he did indicate that they have leverage, right? He says we do a lot for them. What do you make of this?
Well, they do have leverage. They do have leverage. But first of all, let's remember that Donald Trump has made all kinds of promises and actually guarantees that have not actually come to fruition. I don't know that he's being advised by the right people. I don't know that he has a very strong understanding of Middle East politics and affairs. But the reality is this, that if the Egyptians and Jordanians or any other Arab country were to take in mass numbers of Palestinians, there would be very grave political consequences for those governments. And I think that whatever incentives there might be, there's been this discussion of debt relief for Egypt, potentially a lot of money for a country that is really struggling economically. But my sense is that Sisi, the president of Egypt, Abdel Fattah Sisi, would understand that the political cost of such an arrangement would be too great for his government to bear. He has not been a friend of the Palestinians, per se, over the years. I think that's putting it lightly. But I also don't necessarily think that he wants a second Nakba catastrophe to occur on his watch. So I think it's very unlikely that this ends up happening. I can't say it's impossible, but I would be very surprised if that ends up happening. And we shouldn't also, completely discount the Palestinians from this discussion. It's not just a political, they're not just sort of chess pieces. The Palestinians have made it very clear that they don't want to go anywhere. This is their homeland, and they're not going to be pushed out by anybody.
Well, this is the thing. Just reminding our viewers, Donald Trump. This all started because Donald Trump says about 1.5 million Palestinians can be relocated to Jordan and Egypt, which, by the way, another word for that is ethnic cleansing. Can you explain to our viewers that removing Palestinians from their land is precisely what is at the heart of this conflict and has been since the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, we can go all the way back to 1948. I mean, inbuilt into this whole project to create the State of Israel was the idea of population transfer. And actually, Benny Morris, one of the leading Israeli historians, has written about this, and he's acknowledged that this was inbuilt. That's actually his word that he has used, and that's exactly what
he called it ethnic cleansing. Exactly,
and that's what happened in 1948. You had hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who were forcibly removed from their homes. They became refugees, and many thousands also killed. And now we know that Israel has aspirations for what they call Greater Israel, based on their interpretation of the Bible. They believe that they are entitled to all of this land, including the West Bank and Gaza, and also beyond, and to Jordan and Syria and parts of Egypt and Saudi Arabia. That is very much a dream of the Israeli political elite. They talk about it openly. It's something that's very deeply rooted in Israeli politics and in Zionist philosophy, and they do want to try to expand. I don't have any doubt about that. That's part of what's at the heart of this very aggressive program of settlement expansion in the West Bank, which is a kind of ethnic cleansing, but just sort of in relative slow motion. The question that we're asking now, though, is that is someone going to facilitate this? Because Israel needs some help. They're going to need help from the Americans, from the Egyptians, from the Jordanians, from the international community. And I have grave doubts about whether or not they're going to get that help.
Mohamad Elmasry, thank you very much for joining us this hour. Thank you.
Thanks.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.